with an army of vipers and lions. I had to keep on reaching up, cause it was my time to tear down the kingdom and call out the liars. Got a jail on my heart from the pessimist. Got those nails in my mouth for impressionists. Spent too much money on a therapist. It couldn't fix me, I accepted it. Gladiator, gladiator, gladiator. About to fight with the gods, I'm a giant slayer. Bone shaker, dominator. Freight train, wrecking ball, I'm the gladiator.
Well, good evening, Central. What a great way to get the evening started. My name is Trevor Castle. I'm with KNIA KRLS Radio here in Pella. Have had the privilege of calling Central College athletic events for 18 years now, including a conference championship softball sweep this afternoon. That was about 4.5 hours on the air, so the voice is a little hoarse, so we're going to just kind of cut right to it and get the evening started tonight. Tonight's event is sponsored by SAC, which is Central College's Student Athlete Advisory Council. SAC strives to enhance the total student-athlete experience by fostering a positive student-athlete image, not only within the Dutch teams, but also throughout the rest of campus and throughout the Pella community as well. SAC serves as the voice of student-athletes on campus and also provides valuable insight to how college and NCAA policies might affect you as a student-athlete. Each of your teams has 2 representatives that attend monthly meetings where they share team highlights, share ideas on how to support each other, talk about NCAA and American Rivers Conference policies, and plan community service projects throughout the year. So at this time, I'd like to honor the SAC board, who has been very integral in tonight's 4th annual Dutchies. There are 4 Dutch student athletes that are present tonight, and I'd ask if you please stand. Danny Anderson, Sadie Boffer, Lane Rummelhart, and Trenton Sand, as well as Ashley Meldrum, who's studying in Wales. And along with those 4 individuals here tonight and Ashley, are 2 women very instrumental in planning tonight's event and as a part of SAC in general. They're the co-advisors, Caitlin Volster and Alicia O'Brien. Ladies. All right, there's several other guests of honor that I'd like to point out here this evening. First off is Central College President, Dr. Mark Putnam and his wife, Tammy. Administrators, Carol Williamson and Kathy Thompson. And sitting with them are a pair of big Dutch supporters, Mark and Kay DeCook. Athletic Director Eric Van Clay is in the house. And right up front, several members of Central College's Central Club, Gary Dirksen, John and Phyllis Vanderwert, Herb Blom, Dave and Artie Sutphin, and Jim Danks. Thanks for being with us tonight. All right, before we get into our first awards of the evening, I do want to tell you a little bit about the process. The spring sports season is not yet complete, so the timing for the awards is of April 1st of last year to March 31st of this year. Your coaches were asked to submit nominations, which were turned over to an 8-member committee to narrow down to the 4 finalists and then pick the winners in each category. So I'd like to ask the members of that committee to stand up if you're in attendance. Amy Briggs, Larry Hopple, Joe Flaherty, Nick Mulder, Lane Rummelhart, John Roseland, and Sadie Boffer. If you'd stand up. Thank you for your hard work. It is a very difficult process to pick 4 in each category and then ultimately pick the winner. So they did a great job in narrowing down, and we'll find out tonight who they picked. In fact, we're going to find out the first award winner right now. With the first winner of this year's 2019 Dutchies is our freshman male athlete of the year. And if you turn your attention to the board for our nominees.
Rob Ariano, wrestling. Rob Ariano arrived from Selma, California and embarked on a dominant rookie wrestling season. He rolled up a 28-6 record, and only 11 of his 28 victories went the distance as he notched 14 falls and 3 technical falls. He took 149-pound tournament titles at Wisconsin Stevens Point and MSOE, then finished 5th in the NCAA Lower Midwest Regional. He was an all-conference honoree. William Isminger, men's tennis. William Isminger held the number 4 singles spot most of the season for Central and also played at number 1 doubles, earning all-conference honors in doubles. He was named the league's Player of the Week in early April. He posted a 16-10 singles mark and was named an ITA Scholar Athlete. Brant Mueller, soccer. Brant Mueller, a defender, was a key component on the back line for the Dutch in their run to the American Rivers Conference Tournament semifinals. His only goal of the season was a game winner against Monmouth. He started 10 of the 14 games he played as a rookie after an injury knocked him out for 4 games. Thomas Spohr, men's basketball. Thomas Spohr, a forward, appeared in all 25 games for the Dutch and started 11, averaging 6.9 points and 3.8 rebounds. He scored a season-high 17 points at Loras and had 9 boards at Buena Vista.
Freshman Male Athlete of the Year, the Dutchie goes to Robert Ariano, wrestling. Rob graduated from Selma High School in California, which is a traditional national wrestling power. His father, Joe, is a coach with the program. Let's give it up for Robert Ariano, our Male Freshman Athlete of the Year. All right, next up is our Female Freshman Athlete of the Year. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Miranda Kruiswijk, cross country. Freshman Miranda Kruiswijk announced her presence in bold fashion, winning the season-opening Dutch Invitational. She followed that with a second-place showing at the Les Duke Invitational in Grinnell, then scored a fourth-place finish at the American Rivers Meet for all-conference honors. She topped that with a ninth-place effort at the NCAA Division III Central Regional in Waverly to secure a berth in the NCAA National Championships in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, where she was 144th in an elite field. She was twice named the league's Performer of the Week. Krissa Larson, volleyball. Krissa Larson was twice named to the all-tournament teams in her rookie year and emerged as one of the squad's top offensive players at outside hitter. She averaged 2.99 kills per set while also recording 108 digs and 39 blocks. She received All-American Rivers Conference honorable mention. Daria Parchard, softball. Daria Parchard shined at one of softball's toughest positions, shortstop, and hit .319, starting 33 games for the NCAA Tournament Qualifying Club and driving in 17 runs. She was the team's Newcomer of the Year award winner and a second-team all-conference pick. Sarah Sherm, tennis. Sarah Sherm led the Dutch with 11 singles wins this fall, primarily playing in the number 4 slot. She also posted an 8-5 doubles record while earning a trip to the Flight B quarterfinals of the American Rivers Conference Championships in October.
All right, the Dutchie for Freshman Female Athlete of the Year goes to Miranda Kruiswijk.
Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard, forgot how to vacation.
Miranda's a psychology major from Dunlap, Illinois, near Peoria. Last week, she was in Azusa, California, and became the 5th Central runner ever to break the 18-minute mark in the 5,000-meter run, finishing in 17:48.51. Let's give it up for our Freshman Female Athlete of the Year, Miranda Kruiswijk. Next, we'd like to give thanks to a variety of groups throughout the department that help behind the scenes, before and after events, and throughout competitions to create a premier D3 playing environment. You see them on campus at our big events. They travel with our teams to show their support, and they have their own competitions to show off their skill. We'd like to say thank you to the cheer team, which placed 4th in the team stunt category at conference and 13th overall at NCAA Nationals, and the dance team, which was 1st place in hip hop and pom at the state competition, finished 1st place in pom at conference, and in the top 10 at NDA Nationals for their hip hop routine. Would members of the Central College dance team and Central College cheer team please stand up? At Central, we also boast of being the first Division III school with 2 full-time strength and conditioning coaches. You also work with 7 strength and conditioning interns that assist in programming and coaching in the weight room. Would members of the Central College Strength and Conditioning Program please stand up? We're waiting. The Dutch Brigade are ever loyal in their red and white stripes, cheering you on at all of our home events. Would members of the Dutch Brigade please stand up? And our athletic training education program is touted as one of the best. We have 6 certified athletic trainers and 34 students in the education program that serve before and after practice and on the sidelines to ensure that you're safe and ready to compete. Would members of the athletic training program please stand up? Thanks to all of you for everything that you do to make this a top-notch athletic experience at Central College. Now we're going to announce our next 2 awards. The next one, our coaching staff of the year, and the nominees are...
I'm starting with my intuition.
Football.
Starting with my strengths.
Central lost 14 starters from its 7-3 2017 team, and the only all-conference players returning were a pair of special teams performers. But a 16-10 upset win in the rain at DePauw sparked a 7-0 start. An injury to quarterback Blaine Hawkins proved costly, but the Dutch still tied for second place and were only an overtime win over Co. away from a share of the league crown. Central was 8-2 overall with 6 all-conference players and a first-team Casita Academic All-American and kicker John Alberts. Men's track and field. As the 2018 Central men's track and field prepared to host the Iowa Conference meet, few expected the squad to match the previous year's second-place finish. But the Dutch pulled an even bigger surprise, blowing past the University of Dubuque for their 18th league championship. Central took titles in 6 events. The Dutch were tied for 12th at the NCAA National Meet, with Mark Fairley capturing the steeplechase title, while Will Daniels took 3rd in the decathlon, capping a highly successful 10-year run at the helm of the program for Coach Joe Dunham. Women's golf. The 2017 season ended in disappointment for the Central women's golf squad, finishing 2nd in the league tournament. But after some regular season challenges, the Dutch waged a neck-and-neck battle with Dubuque at the first-ever American Rivers Championship meet and were tied after 54 holes. The Dutch won a 1-hole playoff for the title and earned a spot in the NCAA Championships in Houston May 14 through 17. Central's Tim Wilkinson was named the league's Coach of the Year. Wrestling. The Dutch wrestling squad took another step forward on its steady return to national prominence. Central's 13-3 record gave it the program's second highest winning percentage since 1991-92 and matched its highest win total since 93-94. The Dutch climbed to a surprising 3rd place finish at the NCAA Division III Lower Midwest Regional before tying for 33rd at the national meet. Eric Van Clay was named the region's Coach of the Year.
And the Dutchie for Coaching Staff of the Year is the 2018 Men's Outdoor Track and Field. We invite Coach Joe Dunham and his staff to please come up and accept the award. It's an experienced track and field coaching staff Joe Dunham and is now in his 11th year at Central and 15th year as a college head coach. Associate head coach Jim Fuller in his 6th year at Central after spending 24 years as a head coach at Northern State University in South Dakota. Brenda Fuller has been an assistant for 31 years, Alan Walls for 10 years, and Tyler Schifferl for 9 years. Our coaching staff of the year 2018, men's outdoor track and field. All right, time for our moment of the year. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Football. Trailing 16-10 at home against Simpson College October 13th, first place in the conference was hanging in the balance and time was running out. Central forced a Simpson punt with 2:37 left, took over at the Simpson 47-yard line. The Dutch converted on a critical 18-yard pass play on 4th and 10 to keep the drive alive, but there were less than 30 seconds remaining when quarterback Blaine Hawkins took the snap on 3rd and 6 from the 15. Women's golf. The first ever American Rivers Conference Championship was conducted in women's golf, and after 54 holes, Central and the University of Dubuque were tied. But on the final day, steady rain made much of the Oneonta Golf and Country Club course in Decorah unplayable. It was determined that the two teams would stage a one-hole team playoff. All 5 players on each team teed it up, and adding to the drama, Central's Brittany Kappas and Dubuque's Daniela Miranda were also playing to determine tournament medalist honors. Despite the conditions, the Dutch answered the call, playing the par 5 18th hole in even par as Kappas defeated Miranda, and Central was awarded its second league championship in 3 years and 10th overall. Men's soccer. Gaining an American Rivers Conference tournament berth as the number 5 seed, the Central men's soccer team had to travel to number 4 Simpson, which had edged the Dutch 3-2 earlier in the season. Central broke on top in the second half, but Simpson forced overtime. 8 minutes into the extra period, all-region senior forward Miguel Pena took a pass from midfielder Daniel Ulanese and knocked home the game winner for the upset, advancing Central into the league semifinals. Wrestling. Prior to January, senior Chase Petty had never been a starter for the Dutch wrestling squad. He took over as a 133-pound starter against the University of Ozarks on January 4 and began a dramatic run to the NCAA Division III championships. The number 4 seed at the Central Regional meet, Petty defeated Dalton Landreth of Westminster College 12-9 in a do-or-die third-place match to secure his surprise spot at the national meet.
All right, and the Dutchie for Moment of the Year is Brittany Kappas and the women's golf team. The women's golf team wrapped up its regular spring season today with the American Rivers preview in Fort Dodge. And in 2 weeks, they head to Houston, Texas for the NCAA Division III championships. Brittany Kappas, our moment of the year. Congratulations. I'd like to tell you a little bit more and show you a little bit more about SAC and the things that have been happening over the last year. SAC coordinated 2 blood drives with LifeServe from Des Moines, a food drive for the local food banks, had student athletes attend a women's leadership conference and the Apple Institute, and hosted 3 events as part of receiving the NCAA Choices Grant. SAC also had conversations about important conference and NCAA legislation. If you turn your attention to the board for a video of SAC.
Would you ever ride away with me? Would you ever take a chance with me? Would you ever take a leap with me? Would you ever ever change your frequency? Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you ever ride away with me?
Next, SAC and the Dutchies would like to honor those who contribute greatly to your individual teams, but in a way that's not easily recognizable by statistics. These are student athletes nominated by coaching staffs for our Unsung Hero Awards. As we read your name, if you're in attendance, we'd ask that you please stand up, and then we'll hold our applause till the end. Cassidy Boss, women's tennis. Rachel Danielson, women's golf. Devin Dilley, wrestling. Thomas Fox, football. Zach Hansen, men's golf. Colin Jones, men's tennis. Marissa Larson, women's track and field. Dylan Moss, men's soccer. Rachel Peters, cross country and track and field. Hannah Reusner, women's soccer. And Sydney Rudd, softball. Let's give a big round of applause for our unsung heroes. Thank you. Now it's time for our record-breaking performance of the year. Let's take a look at the nominees.
You're not alone, together we stand.
John Alberts, football. For 46 years, Craig Wassner's 52-yard field goal remained in the Central football record books, but it was finally erased on a windy October 20th afternoon in Waverly. Late in the first quarter, a promising Central drive stalled with an injury to quarterback Blaine Hawkins, but all-region junior kicker John Alberts gave Central a lift with a 55-yard field goal that cleared the uprights with room to spare. Alberts made 8 of 9 field goals for the year and 45 of 46 extra points, and later received Casida Academic All-America honors. Kendall Brown, women's basketball. A second-team All-Conference forward, junior Kendall Brown notched 73 blocks in 25 games this season. That set a new school record, toppling All-American Tracy Wilson's 51 block shots in 1992 and 93. With the year remaining at Central, Brown also holds the school career mark with 159 blocks. Will Daniels, men's indoor track and field. A returning national heptathlon champion, junior Will Daniels made sure his first serious run at a qualifying spot in this year's NCAA meet would be the only one he'd need. Competing at the Wartburg Select in early February, Daniels built up a comfortable first-day lead, then soared 14 feet 5 1/4 inches in the pole vault on his way to the heptathlon record the following day, finishing with 5,441 points to break a 6-year-old Division III record. Sarah Tallman, softball. In just her second collegiate season, sophomore center fielder Sarah Tallman launched an assault on Central's season stolen base record. In the opening game of a doubleheader at the University of Dubuque, Tallman beat out an infield hit in the top of the 5th inning. 1 out later, she was standing on second base after stealing her 38th bag of the year, breaking the mark set by Daniela Grove in 2000. Tallman finished with 47 steals on the season and earned all-conference and all-region recognition for the second time.
Pretty good stuff there. The winner of the record-breaking performance Dutchie is Will Daniels, men's track and field. By the way, Will's not done yet. Last weekend, his 7,195 points set a school record. It's the best in Division III this year and the 5th best in D3 history. Will Daniels, our record-breaking performance of the year. All right, I've reached my limit, at least for now, so I'm going to bring up some relief. Part of the athletic department's administrative team at Central is the faculty athletic representatives. They work in the areas of athletic compliance, eligibility, and as a connection between the faculty and the athletic department. And Central is fortunate to have 3 FARs who are very actively involved in the health and well-being of all of you and all of our student athletes. Professor Andrew Green, Professor Dawn Reese, filling in for Lori Witt, and joining us on stage now, Professor John Roslin.
Thank you, Trevor. What a great honor it is to be up here tonight celebrating so many student athletes and their wonderful achievements. As a faculty athletic rep, when I meet with prospective students, I talk about the ability to balance success in athletics and academics every single time I talk to a student athlete who's in my office being recruited. I wish they could be here tonight to watch us celebrate this. It's my honor tonight to be able to present some academic awards for student athletes. First up is a summary of some academic student athlete achievements. When I read your name, if you would please stand. Central College had 107 individuals earn academic all-conference honors this year. If those 107 student athletes would stand and be recognized. Well done. We also had 4 student athletes recognized as Google Cloud COSIDA Academic All-District. When I read your name, if you would stand. Mariah Fritz in softball. Pat Gray in football. Ryan Cruz, track and field. And Garrett Saunders in baseball. Congratulations. We are also fortunate to have 5 Google Cloud COSIDA Academic All-Americans. If you would stand when I would read your name. John Alberts with football. Elise Oskelson with soccer. Will Daniels with track and field. Mark Fairley with track and field. And Kate Patton with track and field. Congratulations. And now we're going to introduce the highest team GPA calculated in season for a men's sports program. This year's recipient on the men's side is men's tennis. As a team, during their season, they had a 3.386 team GPA. On the women's side, again, calculated in season, the women's award this year was presented to women's soccer. Their team GPA was 3.444. And I have to make a note about this one. They beat out the women's cross-country team by 1,000th of a point. And next up, traditionally we award a watch to the senior student athlete that has the highest GPA amongst the seniors. This year's male recipient is Will Daniels, if he'd come forward. Will has a 4.0 GPA in biology. On the women's side, for female highest senior GPA, with a GPA of 3.869, volleyball player Chapel Carter. Thank you.
We also have 3 leadership awards named for special people who have had a significant impact in the history of our athletic department here at Central. These awards have been selected through a nomination process from the athletic coaching staff, and the award recipient will have their name on a plaque inside of the Maytag Student Center. The first one is the Marjorie Giles Student Life Leadership Award, which is given annually to a junior or senior who has demonstrated positive values through faith-based leadership in a variety of co-curricular activities in addition to Central Athletics as an athlete, athletic trainer, student coach, or related athletic role. And this year's winner is Hannah Roisner. Hannah's been involved in a variety of campus organizations, and her nominator indicated her joyous spirit is contagious, and she's passionate about everything that she's involved in at Central College. Hannah Roisner. Next is the Ron Skipper Leadership Award, which demonstrates a willingness to set lofty goals and the drive to achieve them, high ethical standards, and strong Christian values, a joyous spirit, genuine concern for others, and a deep personal loyalty to Central College. This year's winner, Miguel Pena. In the nomination, Miguel was said to have an excellent disciplinary record on the field and has always led by example. He's been a leader as a team captain, president of OLAS, and a double major in exercise science and Spanish. Let's give it up again for Miguel Pena. And the third is the Prinz Sportsmanship Award. Exemplified and encouraged good sportsmanship in a contest on the field and in all human relationships. And this year's winner is Pat Gray. Pat has been involved in Student Senate and in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He's a 2-time CASIDA Academic All-District and an Academic All-Conference honoree and a National Football Foundation William Campbell Trophy semifinalist. Twice he had to miss a season due to knee surgery, but returned to have a successful senior season as a running back for the Dutch. Let's give it up for Pat Gray. And now it's time to announce our Male Athlete of the Year. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Will Daniels, indoor men's track and field. It's hard to top a national championship season, but after winning last year's Division III heptathlon crown, Will Daniels came back even stronger. He eclipsed the Division III record with 5,441 points in winning the Wartburg Select, then claimed another NCAA title with 5,418 points in Boston in March, becoming Central's first repeat national champion since decathlete Ethan Miller in 2011 and 12. He also received his second straight Central Regional Men's Field Event Athlete of the Year award. Mark Fairley, outdoor men's track and field. It was a productive year for Mark Fairley, an All-American in cross country a year ago and even better in track and field last spring. He pulled off a demanding double by sweeping the 1,500 meters and the 3,000 meter steeplechase on back-to-back days to help Central capture the Iowa Conference Championship. Then he used a devastating finishing kick to claim a national steeplechase title at the NCAA Division III Championships, leading Central to a 12th place team finish. Fairley was named the Central Region Track Athlete of the Year, the Track Coaches Association Scholar Athlete of the Year, and a COSIDA Academic All-American, after earlier receiving an NCAA postgraduate scholarship in cross country. He capped his career by competing at the International University Sports Federation America Games in Brazil in July. Garrett Saunders, baseball. Garrett Saunders was named a first-team All-Central Region shortstop by D3Baseball.com and second-team by ABCA Rawlings, and was a second-team All-Conference selection. Also a League Male Athlete of the Week, he was an academic All-Conference honoree. Saunders hit .388 with 3 homers and 23 RBI while stealing 21 bases and had 2 4-hit games. Cam Tamak, wrestling. After earning All-America honors as a sophomore, Cam Tamak opened the 2017-18 wrestling season at 19-0, only to have his year end suddenly with injury. He rebounded as a senior, dropping to 125 pounds and returning to the national meet with a late surge, using a pair of dramatic one-point decisions to secure the NCAA Lower Midwest Regional crown. Back in his home state of Virginia for the national meet, Tamak won his first 2 matches to reach the semifinals and capped a 25-6 season with a 6th-place finish and his second All-America award.
All right, the Dutchie for Male Athlete of the Year is Will Daniels, indoor track and field. Hey, in case that wasn't good enough, Will's a concert pianist. His favorite composer is Chopin. He's a pre-med student. He's going to attend graduate school at the University of Iowa. Let's give it up again for Will Daniels. And now our Female Athlete of the Year. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Brittany Koppas, women's golf. Senior Brittany Koppas took care of some unfinished business last fall. She secured top 10 finishes at the Mount Mercy Early Bird Invitational and the Luther Sail Classic. Then, after finishing second in the conference last year and 5th the previous 2, Koppas won a playoff after the 54th hole to take home league medalist honors this year. That also helped Central secure a league title and a trip to the NCAA Division III Championships in Houston in May. She received the Team Maureen Timmer MVP Award for the 2nd time, as well as the Most Dedicated Player Award for the 3rd time, and is a 4-time All-Conference honoree. Olivia Denham, women's soccer. A senior forward and midfielder, Olivia Denham was named a first-team All-Conference selection for the 3rd time while winning the team's MVP and Hustle Awards. She also received the League Player of the Week honors. Denham scored 10 goals with 3 assists in 18 games and had 28 shots on goal. Mary Gray, women's indoor track and field. Sophomore Mary Gray captured her 2nd straight league indoor pentathlon crown in February and was also named All-Region in the 60-meter hurdles. She earned her first berth in the NCAA National Meet in Boston and placed 17th in the pentathlon. Courtney Krutoff, women's track and field. Courtney Krutoff followed up an all-region freshman season by earning a trip to the NCAA Championships as a sophomore. After earlier winning the conference high jump crown, she placed 16th in the event in the Division III meet. She was the conference indoor performer of the week in December.
And the Dutchie for Female Athlete of the Year is Brittany Koppas, women's golf. Brittany is majoring in exercise science, minoring in business management, and she's landed a job this summer working at the club at Chatham Hills. It's an 18-hole championship golf course in Westfield, Indiana. Let's give it up for Brittany Koppas, our Women's Athlete of the Year. All right, we'd like to take a moment to honor 2 very special individuals here today. Most college and university athletic departments have coaches, athletic trainers, equipment managers, compliance officers, and athletic directors, and radio guys. But Central is blessed to have someone on its athletic staff who doesn't carry any of those titles or fill any traditional role, but yet is a far better place because of it. In 1957, a young student made the long trip to Pella from Bellemeade, New Jersey. It was Dave Sutphen's freshman year and the start of a lifelong love affair with the Central Dutch. That was back even before Ron Skipper arrived on the scene, and Dave played football and baseball at Central. He graduated in 1961, and his wife Artie, who came from Belmont, Iowa, graduated in 1964. Dave took over Warmhout and Kempkes, a men's clothing store in Pella, and operated that for 38 years with great success, and was ultimately inducted into the Pella Chamber of Commerce Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, Artie worked at Central for nearly 40 years, serving as an executive assistant to 5 Central presidents and secretary of the Board of Trustees. Their son Todd was a CASIDA academic All-American baseball player at Central, and their daughter Tamry is also a Central grad. Dave then joined the staff in 2000 and served as vice president of advancement. Dave retired from that position, but his passion for Central student athletes remains. As a major gifts advisor, he's still playing a key role in the Forever Dutch initiative. Not only was Dave instrumental in raising the funds for this Kuiper Gymnasium expansion, he and Artie recently made a major gift for the project's next phase. But Dave is more than a fundraiser. He's an athletics recruiter, a welcoming face to visiting students and their families, a mentor and supporter for Central's coaches, and he's always an enthusiastic fan. In fact, it's rare to have any Central athletics event without Dave and Artie cheering on the Dutch from the stands. Yet there's no role that Dave cherishes more than being a friend to many of you Central student athletes. We'd like to again direct your attention to the video screen.
Well, Central Athletics goes way back when I came to Central from New Jersey, and I came here because of I could play 2 sports, football and baseball, and I was able to do both, which was really fulfilling. And believe it or not, my brother followed me a year after and did the same thing, and we couldn't ask for a better ride.
Dave, I think he was one of the first people that I met, like, once I officially got started here. And, like, his sass is something that I know he gives to a lot of people, but I think he dishes it out to me, which I'm grateful for because I dish it back at him. I love how much he cares. And I think that that's probably the biggest thing that I love about Central, I love about Pella, but I think Dave emulates that.
I met Dave in the old hitting room, so where the assistant coach's offices are. Every time I went to go hit, he was always in his office. He'd always come out and say, "Hey, what you doing?" Always something like that, making sure everything was going well with me.
Well, Dave is so good with our out-of-state kids and even in-state kids. Nobody can sell Central like Dave. He just has a heartfelt love for Central College, and when he expresses that to families, I think it's just kind of gives families a calm and a lot of assurance that Central's a great place for their son to come and play basketball for us.
Dave's kind of like a life coach, like he's like knows the game of basketball, he knows the game of a lot of sports, but like he also gives me advice just like in the game of life. Like he's really supportive off the court. He's always telling me to just keep my head up whenever I don't play the best or play up to like my standards. He's just a really supportive guy and really helpful in all circumstances. We talked quite a bit about how I'm doing at Central in my first 2 years. They're pretty rough. He basically persuaded me to just stick with Central. He was one of the main figures here that persuaded me to stay here.
Dave's very close to our coaching staff, and since we hired Coach OB, him and OB are kind of right next to each other in the office space, and he just loves Coach OB and he gets along so well. And I stop in at least once a week just to sit down and talk with Dave, and he's really helped me just stay more connected with alumni.
It's huge because he's just such an outgoing guy. You look forward to seeing him every day. He's just always got some type of joke to tell you too.
Well, I appreciate about him. He's a guy, obviously, he's been at Central for a long time, and just gives me words of wisdom and how to become a better coach every single day.
I don't don't sit with my wife in the stand. She can't stand sitting with me, to be honest with you. So I stand sort of down. I watch the gate on the north end of the football field where the visiting team goes on. That's my responsibility. And score tight, yeah. I'm nervous as Dickens because I want to win.
Yeah, I think he gets really excited. And I think even when we don't win, I still think he tries to find the positives to try to push us, to get there because he believes in us.
We have just grown close, really close with Dave, and his wife Ari too. It's just both of them they just love Central College. They go to all the events, and you hardly can see an event without Dave being there. And he comes to our games as well, and just loves our kids and believes in every single athlete here and how special they are because they're here at Central College.
As we are rebuilding our program specifically, like there are moments where I'm pretty hard on myself, where us coaches are kind of beating ourselves up after a loss, and I think how he approaches us after a loss or after a big win makes you feel better about the loss, even though you never feel good about it, and makes you feel that much more excited after a big win.
Well, I always kind of take that with a grain of salt, but he likes to share his opinions and that kind of stuff there, but he usually is a little more positive than we are, so that's always great. He has a good positive aspect of everything that's going on.
Oh, Dave, he's got a little bit to learn about volleyball, as most people do.
He thinks he knows a lot about basketball, He's like, do I need to tie my shoes and get out there sometimes? I was like, hey, we might need you sometimes out there, Some of the guys, need your assistance and things like that.
Yeah, he seems to know a lot. He likes to grip his hand pretty hard too. He's a pretty strong guy. He likes to show you he's tough. It's funny.
You know what? I turned 80 years old a couple weeks ago, and I still have a fire in my gut for this place, for what it means. It's not about me. It's not about my wife or anything. It's about our kids went here and had a great experience, and it's for the people. I just make a difference in the lives of the students that are here now. I totally enjoy it. Students come and talk to me. I love it. And for the coaches, 100%. We got quality people, and the experience that they're going to have, I tell them, they're going to be experiences that are going to last a lifetime, and their friends that that they met here are going to be their friends for life. I still have that after 50 some years, and it means a lot. And I love this place. To put it in perspective, I totally love Central College.
He cares so much about Central, and I love him and Artie are two of my favorite people in Pella, without a doubt. So.
I'd say, you made a difference here, being on a team. Now go out in the world and make a difference, in society, because we need people like you in a very troubled world right now. And so go out and do good things.
Ladies and gentlemen, they are truly forever Dutch, and it's my distinct honor to present a special Central College Athletic Lifetime of Achievement Award to Dave and Artie Sutphin. Thank you. And with that, we have one last award to hand out, and it is for Team of the Year. Let's take a peek at the nominees.
Run me like a racehorse, pull me like a ripcord, break me down and
Football.
I wanna be the
An 8-2 season for the Dutch included a 7-game winning streak to start the season. Central tied for second place in the league with a 6-2 record. 6 players earned spots on the All-Conference team, and 2 were selected for the D3Football.com All-West Region squad. Central players were named the league's Performer of the Week 7 times and D3Football.com Team of the Week honors 4 times. Men's outdoor track and field. After recording a pair of top 3 team finishes at home invitational meets in April, Central's men's track and field team took advantage of the Skipper Stadium track again in May by scoring an upset victory in the Iowa Conference Championships. The Dutch topped the University of Dubuque by 28 points for their 18th league title and their 3rd in the past 4 years. Senior Mark Fairley swept the 1,500 meters and 3,000 meter steeplechase as Central won 6 events. The Dutch followed that by tying for 12th in Division III at the national meet as Fairley sprinted to a national steeplechase title. Meanwhile, Will Daniels, who scored a stunning decathlon victory at the Kansas Relays, took 3rd in the D3 decathlon. Softball. The Central softball team earned a record 28th NCAA Division III tournament berth and posted 2 tourney victories to finish the season in St. Paul, Minnesota at the regional. The Dutch finished at 29-12 overall and 12-4 in league play. 3 Central players earned all-region recognition from the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association, while 5 players were named to the all-conference squad. Women's golf. After opening the year with a second-place finish at the Early Bird Classic in Marion, the Central women's golf team ran into some fierce competition this fall, but came through when it counted. The Dutch won a dramatic team playoff following a rain-shortened 54-hole American Rivers tournament and captured their 2nd playoff championship in 3 years and 10th overall. Senior Brittany Koppas won a playoff for league medalist honors, while junior Emily Opsel placed 4th and junior Lexi Patton took 9th. Central also earned a berth in the NCAA tournament in Houston, where the team will compete May 14 through 17.
I do what it takes.
All right, the winner of Team of the Year is men's outdoor track and field. Would any 2018 seniors or this year's captains please come up to accept the award? Central scored 144 points at the league meet last year to win by 28 points over Dubuque, who was the pre-meet favorite. And the Dutch this year will defend their league title May 9th through the 11th in Cedar Rapids. Let's give it up for the 2018 men's outdoor track and field team, our Team of the Year. As we wrap up the evening, we do have a few other special thank yous that we'd like to make for making this evening possible. We'd like to say thanks to the food service department for the food that kicked off the evening. Thanks to the communications office and sports information, video packages, A+, best they've been during the Dutchies. Fantastic job. Paul Joy, Ben Udemark, and Trent Swartwood. Let's give them a big round of applause. Also, thanks to Susan Canfield and the event staff for the space, the physical plant staff. They're going to clean up after you guys, I think, tonight. And thanks to everybody for their work in putting this event together.
And for one final thank you tonight, we want to thank Trevor for being the voice of the Dutch and all that he does for us. So let's give him a hand.
All right, we're going to wrap it up with one more video package. Nights like this are a big part of what Central's all about. It's not all about what happens on the field, although that's a lot of fun. As you well know, it's the things that happen in the locker room or the bus rides, practice, the classroom, those everyday moments with your teammates and friends. And so we'd like to take a look back at some of those special moments for the last 12 months. And as the video wraps up, we'll say thanks for coming and have a good rest of your evening.
square off against Central in the open.
Jump ball cannot. Goes up, makes the catch. He took away the profit's dream. For profit on the street. Now she's stronger than you know. A heart of steel starts to grow. All his life he's been told he'll be nothing where he's posed. All the kicks and all the blows, he won't ever let it show. 'Cause he's stronger than you know. A heart of steel starts to grow. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been struggling to make things right. It's all superhuman strength to fly. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been working every day and night. It's all superhuman strength to fly. All the hurt, all the lies, all the tears that they cry. When the moment is just right, you see fire in their eyes. 'Cause he's stronger than you know. A heart of steel starts to grow. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been struggling to make things right. It's all superhuman strength to fly. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been working every day and night. It's all superhuman strength to fly. She's got a lion in her heart, a fire in her soul. He's got a beast in his belly that's so hard to control. 'Cause they've taken too much hits, they go blow by blow. Now light him at stand back, watch him explode. She's got a lion in her heart, a fire in her soul. He's got a beast in his belly that's so hard to control. 'Cause they've taken too much hits, they go blow by blow. Now light him at stand back, watch him explode, 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 explode. When you've been fighting for it